Hey y'all, it's your boy Wild Ute. Sorry for the voice. Lost the voice at the game tonight. It's about 1:45 a.m. in the morning. Just got home a few minutes ago from the stadium. Was at the TCU and Utah football game. The Utah Utes lose again. It's a 3-game losing streak. Frankly, it's the first time I can ever remember that the Utes lose 3 straight games. It's been a long, long time. It's rough, guys. It's real rough. 13-7 loss. TCU, one of the most high-powered passing offenses in the nation, is held to 13 points, and they take the victory, 13-7. The Utah Utes, they punted today more than they scored. 7 points, more punts than 7. It's it's late, yeah. It was rough to get back to the car too. So it's been a long night, but let's talk about what this means. Let's talk about the perspective on this game, the rest of the season. Let's talk about the boos at Rice Eccles Stadium, view of the Big 12 Conference, and hope for the future. So first off, this game, the defense, the Utah Utes defense played TCU really well, generated a turnover. Josh Hoover had a good game. He's a stud quarterback for TCU, but the defense just played nasty. 13 points, a huge victory. A performance from the defense. Loved it. Special teams was kind of a push. There was a block punt, yet you blocked a field goal too. So basically kind of evened everything out. So really when you're looking at who's to foot the blame for this freaking 13-7 loss, it's the unit that scored 7 points. TCU was one of the worst run defenses coming into this game, not only in the Big 12, but in the nation. And Utah couldn't even run for 70 yards on this defense. I don't get it. Nobody gets it. The blocking wasn't great, especially the interior blocking for the Utah Utes. The passing game was really poor. This is the first game in which true freshman 18-year-old quarterback Isaac Wilson stepped into the game. As a new full-time starter, there was a lot of hope in Ute communities to say, hey, you know what, now that the team's rallied around this kid, that the offense is going to turn a corner. But clearly there is dysfunction going on right now in the offensive room, passing the football, and even running it today. It just looks so bad. And being at the stadium, it was just, there's nothing to cheer for offensively. It was so rough, just waiting for anything. Then in the second half, there was a long touchdown bomb. The crowd got into it and stuff. But then just more of the same, just shooting ourselves in the foot, stupid play calling, just not being able to move the football, not being able to run it, not being able to consistently get first downs. It's just really, really bad. And Utah is not necessarily known for their offense. For the last 10 years, Utah's offenses have been up and down. Some have struggled. Last year's team was really rough to watch. But this year's team now is as bad as I've ever seen the offense for Utah. 7 points. The games that Utah's losing, they're holding teams to under 30 points. TCU, 13 points and you lose the freaking game. The offense is the reason that the Utes lost this game, and that falls on multiple parties here. Let's take a look at some of the stats here for this game. Then we'll get to some other topics here. All right, 13-7. TCU 4-3, 2-2 in conference play. Utah 4-3, 1-3 in conference play. The Big 12, any vestige of a hope for a Big 12 championship is just gone this year. Gone with 3 conference losses, and to I'll be honest, guys, pretty marginal opponents. These aren't big dogs that we're losing to. They're really average, below average teams for the Big 12, and that does not speak well at all. Actually kind of pisses me off. So let's look at this. All right. So TCU scores field goal, touchdown, field goal, and Utah gets points. And that's it, guys. That's all the scoring in this game. Field goal, touchdown, field goal, and then Utah gets a touchdown, 13-7. Wasn't a shoot at by any means. All right, let's look at this. Let's look at the box. Okay, so Josh Hoover, stud-o quarterback. Love the kid. He's a gamer. 22 for 41, 263, 0 passing touchdowns. Oh, man, that's not a great stat line. This kid throws for like 5 touchdowns a game. I mean, that's a really good performance by the Utes. Looking at the rushing attack. Yeah, I mean, no one had over 100 yards. That's fine. The defense isn't the problem here. Looking over, okay, so Isaac Wilson went 17 for 33, 199 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Mekhi Bernard, stud running back, 13 carries, 55 yards, 68 total yards rushing, 60 freaking 8 total yards rushing on one of the worst rush defenses in the freaking land, not just the Big 12 conference. I don't get that at all. Well, TCU ran for 132 on you. I do want to take a look. Let's take a look at Isaac Wilson's QBR. QBR, guys, is one of the big things that Kyle Whittingham, coach for the Utah Utes, looks at. Quarterback rating. Go right now he's sitting at about 36.8. A good QBR is anywhere from 70 plus. An average QBR is going to be in like the 50, 60 range. Anything below 50 is poor. So he's sitting there, 36.8 QBR. He's a freshman. Give him some breaks on that. Yeah. So it's just tough looking at the performance here. Isaac Wilson's QBR during the TCU game, 20.8. 20.8. That sums it up right there. 20.8. 4 sacks. He's 18. He's 18. It is what it is. The Utes are going to lose more games this year. Let's talk about the boos at Rice Eccles Stadium. The offense was so poor in the first half that there were boos that rained down from fans to the performance and in the players. It got some attention, commotion, especially on social media. I'll be honest with you, I was one of the guys I was booing. What I saw was really, really bad. And I've seen it for multiple weeks now. And the expectations of this team were sky high to make the playoff. And you've lost 3 marginal football teams in a row. 2 of them at home when you should have had a fortress. Rice Eccles Stadium, nobody used to beat the Utes at Rice Eccles. Now it's apparently anybody could take a game. You don't even need a winning record. You can be a 500 team and win at Rice Eccles. Like, what the freak is going on? So the boos at Rice Eccles, because of the performance, because of 7 or 8 punts in the first half, were completely warranted. We're no longer in the era of just like a high school or old college football. In this new NIL era, players are getting paid. And when players are getting paid, you treat them like semi-pro athletes. And when the performance sucks, you can boo. That's okay. That is okay. It sucks. So there's nothing positive about that. Like, do something good, it will cheer. But if you do something crappy for multiple times in a row and you punt 7 or 8 times in a row, you're going to get booed. That's bad performance. You deserve to get booed. So I hope the boos stop based on improved performance. We'll see what happens and everything. But there was a lot of boos all around. So it's a very interesting development. I can't say I've heard any booing at Rice Eccles for maybe ever, maybe like several years. It's been a long time. Now, what does this loss mean? As mentioned before, the loss means that the Utes are out of the Big 12 title hunt in 2024. What's even worse is that the game, basically what's become the Super Bowl for this year, isn't a Big 12 championship berth. It's playing in the Holy War versus BYU, who's sitting with an undefeated record and probably going to be a top 12 team. When they roll under Rice Eccles in a couple weeks, they might be a top 10 team. That is the freaking Super Bowl, is playing BYU and having a chance of beating the Cougars this year. That's what's happened this year. And that's really only thing that's worthwhile playing for this year. And everything is beating BYU and getting off on a high note and getting some momentum in for next year, because it feels like this team is sick. It feels like there's some type of disease going on and that it needs to be carved out. Things need to change big time so it gets back to playing Utah football. because this isn't Utah football what we're watching. 7 points is unacceptable, guys. 7 points. Like Utah's got one of the worst scoring offenses in the nation by far. And I'll be honest, okay, last point here. Last point. So the Big 12, there's a lot of Big 12 fans that are like, hey, you guys, hey, they're playing these juggernaut Big 12 teams and everything. No wonder you're losing football games. Like these Big 12 teams, two Arizona teams, Utah's lost to. They're both Pac-12 teams. TCU comes in, scores 13 points. Don't give me that these juggernaut Big 12 teams are coming in and beating Utah. Utah's just not a good football team right now, especially offensively. Not because the Big 12 is anything special. These opponents we're playing in the Big 12 are beatable. We should beat them. We should be undefeated right now. Like seriously, it's shocking that the Utes are sitting at 4-3. I can't believe it still. But there's room for hope here. There's talent on this roster. There's talent coming back next year. Isaac Wilson is just 18. While his QBR needs to improve, he can improve. He's got talented features on him. He's got a lively arm. And going into next year, I expect that the Utes are going to look a lot better offensively. That might be rough for the rest of the season here. So, again, it's late at night, hitting the sack soon. If you like this reaction video, I'm just being real with you guys. With everything I say here and stuff, it's late, so I get tired and stuff, and just to let you know how it is. Like, subscribe, and leave comments. I love the comments. You tell me where I was right or where I was wrong. If I'm off my rocker, troll me. I don't care. Let's just engage in the comments here. And subscribe to this channel. We're almost to 5,000 subs. And you know what? Until next time, and I hope that I'm not doing a video like this for a long time. It's been too regularly. Go Utes. Go Utes. Go Utes. Go Utes. Until next time, y'all. Peace out.